Now here's something interesting, and I did not realize that. I have 3 ice cream scoops. Hey friends, welcome back. Today we're gonna be doing a kitchen declutter. Now this is something that I do from time to time. Even though I have gone minimalist, there still is stuff that needs to be gone through on a regular basis. And the kitchen is definitely a place that I think is a good place to start if you're just starting minimizing, because there's not a lot of things that we have like a strong sentimental tie to, which I really like about the kitchen. And a special shout out to Dawn from the Minimal Mom, because she has started this mega motivation playlist. And this month it's all about kitchen decluttering and decor. And I'm very honored to be a part of this with people like Erica Lucas, Steph from The Secret Slob, and Diane in Denmark. I love that lady. And I just wanted to note something quickly. If you're not in love with your kitchen, I'm not gonna say I'm in love with the color of this kitchen. It is a little orange, it's beautiful, it's nice, it's large, it serves our family. I mean, ideally I will be painting the cupboards white at one point and changing the countertops because they're brown, but you still need to enjoy it. So minimizing it is a great way of doing that. And also just keeping minimal things out on the counter, but I will get to that in just a second. Since we've gone minimalist, life has been much, much better. We have 3 boys. I am a nurse. My husband's a first responder. So life is chaotic, and keeping the kitchen clean helps us be sane and calm and happier. So let's get to these drawers, because I know there's stuff in here that I need to be decluttering. Okay, so this is my measuring things drawer slash sort of baking stuff drawer. Now this is something funny that I can't even believe I have kept this. I think it was a stocking stuffer. It is a turkey doneness ringing timer thing. So we are gonna get rid of that. And you know, I don't know how many sets of measuring spoons I really need, so I'm gonna be getting rid of some of these. This is my son's, he got it at Disneyland. So these can go with him when he moves. He's a big baker, which I think is lovely. So I'm just gonna move those out of the way for now, just to show my ideal. But these are some things that I just don't need anymore. They're like just missing components. So just get a few things out of here. And yes, I do have a syringe in here. I am a nurse, but this was actually for dosing the flavor for my soda stream. Does that seem weird? All right, I'm happy with this drawer. Now this is where things get crazy, and this is a good example of the kids emptying the dishwasher. This, I don't know why I have this. This is like for like chopsticks. I don't need a chopstick bag. Bent melted spoon for the kids' lunches. No. Grapefruit spoons. I mean, like we almost never have grapefruit. We don't need grapefruit spoons. And here is something. Now I have 2 sets of these Instant Pot utensils. I don't need these. I don't need 2. I don't. But you know, I have to say this little ladle is very handy for getting things out of like the very edges of pots, but I don't need 2. As much as I loved having babies, I don't need their spoons anymore. So I'm going to declutter this baby spoon. Now here's something interesting, and I did not realize that because these were in different drawers before. I have 3 ice cream scoops. Now we don't need ice cream. Okay, back after a quick phone call. So these are 3 ice cream scoops. Now, I don't know about you, but we don't need enough ice cream to need 3 ice cream scoops. So I'm just gonna keep the best one. This one I'm going to donate. It's a good one for people. I think it's like an OXO grip. This is good for people with arthritis. There's the nurse in me finding like which people with which issues can use stuff. Don't need that. And then this one is a big one, and I just don't need it. It doesn't work as well. It kind of gets like comes off of its track. It's easy enough to fix, but I don't need anything that doesn't work well. And then I've got this one. I like this one. It's easy, it's comfortable, it's good on the thumb. So this is my short handles things drawer. So and you know, I've got this pastry brush. I don't need 2. Just look at all of this. Who needs that? And this is the short-handled utensils drawer. And again, we use all of this. So one of the things I really recommend when people are decluttering is to only spend about 30 minutes at a time. Otherwise, it seems like it just gets really stressful and feels like a huge event. And if you're on a real roll, you can keep going, but you just don't want to make like a major event out of it. So I am only going to set my timer for 30 minutes because I have my kids' tutor coming over. We have other things to do. It's like a beautiful day here on Vancouver Island, and I really do not want to spend all of it inside. So I'm only spending 30 minutes decluttering today. Okay, this is the dishes cupboard. And you know what? I do have a couple things in here that I just don't need. And I have these bowls. These are really nice, kind of like round bowls, but I don't need extra bowls. So I'm gonna put these, we're gonna donate them. Oh, gosh, Should have got my stool. These are also very nice bowls. They're good for things like soup, but you know what? We already have these big bowls, which are really handy for big things like a big salad and that. We do have a family of 5, but my youngest, who is almost 12, he's not a huge eater, so he would be happy with one of these smaller white bowls. So I feel like that's pretty good. This is my only Christmas mug, and I am gonna keep it because it makes me really happy. Oh gosh, okay. This is my Christmas movie mug, because I love Christmas movies. It's June, FYI, but there we go. And then another, like a plate for Santa. So maybe I don't know how long we'll keep that, but for now we'll keep it for at least another year. So one of the things that I actually have been meaning to declutter lately is a couple of teacups, and I bought them a few years ago because I thought it would be nice to have tea when my friends came over in these cute little teacups. But let's face it, they hold like maybe a third of a cup of tea, which is definitely not enough tea. And I just don't need them. We don't use them. So I'm going to declutter those too. It's lovely, it's Scottish. I'm sure Diane in Denmark would like it, but it's really, I just don't use it. These are little Krispy Kreme mugs that I got. They're cute. They have like a little donut in the bottom, and I got them in Vancouver. There's a Krispy Kreme or in Delta, and I got some for each of the kids, but I'm gonna be honest with you, like they don't use them. It's probably the ideal size a kid should have for hot chocolate, but really these should probably be decluttered too. Don't you like where you find where people have put things? This is the lid for my to-go cup. I'm super happy I have it. Yay! How do you know you have a Scottish mother-in-law? Another little cup and an empty hot chocolate canister. So this is a mug that my son takes to, like if he goes camping, the kids, they need to take dishes with them. So I am going to set these aside because they go on a camp out with the school a couple of times a year. So I do need a few things like this. I'm not gonna send my good stuff, but other than that, I really am happy with the very small amount of things that I am keeping, but I don't need the lid for it. I just don't realize how short I am. Okay, so I've got a couple of big things. This my husband and I got when we went to Disneyland. I'm actually not keeping it because it's sentimental, but he likes a big mug in the morning when he has his coffee. But overall, it's, you know, like these are the things for kids going camping. Here's another one. Other than that, very few mugs. So that's really happy. Okay, and so I think that now I really just need to go to my Tupperware drawer. And I have gone through this recently, but I do think there are a couple of things that we could discard. This is my potato masher. It just doesn't fit in any other drawer because it's big. It's annoying KitchenAid one. We have 2 of these spatulas for the barbecue, and I'm not very good at barbecuing. I'm a pretty good cook, but I am not good at barbecuing. I just tend to burn it all. I want to like come inside and quickly do something and then it burns. So, but this one, I don't think my husband likes this when he uses it. So I think we can get rid of that. I'll just confirm that with him. Here's a couple of lids that don't have a home. Get rid of those. And the other thing is, like, I like to sort of take stock about what I have in my drawers before I complete for the day, because next time I might be like, okay, so I really didn't use that. I don't need to keep it. But we do put a lot of things in the fridge and the freezer, so we do need some things, of course, to store things in. But it is a good idea to keep stock of how many things you actually have and how many things you're gonna need to keep going with. Okay, so onto the utensil drawer that I keep by the stove. Now, if you've ever heard of lean design, which is something that we talk about in healthcare a lot, because it means that you keep things that you use the most at hand. So in this drawer, I have my tongs, the spatulas I use the most. And I do have things like in my other, I've got a long handled and short handled drawer. They are like a slotted spoon. Like I can't not have a slotted spoon. I did have 2 before, so I decluttered one because I don't use it all the time, but it is something that it is nice to have. But I have 3 pairs of tongs in here. What? And I actually have some with silicone in the other drawer. And I do need the one with silicone, of course, like if I'm using my non-stick pan, but I certainly don't need these 3. I'm going to keep 1 because it is good on the barbecue. I'm going to tell you something though. I hate this one because it pinches my hand, so that one's going. And this one's gonna go. This fish turner, we used to have 2 of these, and it was because we actually used them a lot. That was before we got our latest non-stick pans. So I actually gave my mom one because she didn't have one, she didn't need it. I'm not a big fan of gifting clutter, but I do think that it was handy for her. So I'm happy to have that one, but I don't need 2. And I've got this I hate this spatula so much. I've had it for probably about 13 years. It's bulky, like it gets in the way. Okay, this is not doing it then, but gets in the way if you're like closing things and you're like, oh, see, look at this thing. So I'm gonna get rid of this because I don't use it. I don't like it. It's not really good for anything. It catches on cookies, it catches on pancakes. It's just not good for any of that. That's why this thing is good for cookies and for cooking on my cast iron. And then I got this one, which I really like as well. So that is probably it. I've got our steak knives there and our regular knives. And there's a look at this random chopstick. It has no friends, it's gone. And wooden spoons. I'm gonna declutter this wooden spoon because I don't need it. And just like Erica Lucas said, you're not supposed to be putting it in the dishwasher, and a lot of us do. I mean, I'm certainly not washing things by hand if I don't absolutely have to, and usually it's because it doesn't fit in the dishwasher. So I'm moving that to the side. And straws, you do need to wash straws by hand. We actually used to put ours in the dishwasher. How would we think that that would work? This is my pots and pans. I got this thing to hold the lids up, so I'll just fix that. But other than that, we use all of that, so I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so on to the decorating part. Now, nobody would accuse me of being a great decorator, but because I have so few things, I think that things look pretty decent for the most part. Now in the kitchen, I definitely like to keep things as minimal as possible. So I only like to keep the things that we actually use throughout the day on the counter, with the exception of one thing, and that is this cookbook stand. I just kind of like it sitting in the corner. There's a really good key lime pie recipe in here. It reminds me of where my husband and I got married, the little town there. So I keep that in the corner, but that's it. We have our 2 oils here. Sadly, they do not fit, okay, that one, but this one does not fit in the cupboard. This is the canola oil and this is the olive oil. So they just sit right there, and I think they look fine. Over here, we've got our fruit. Obviously not all fruit can go in the fridge, so we keep it here. We used to have a wire stand that my son gave us, but it was not good. Look, I did not like it. He can hear me though. I want to talk too loud. So I've got this bowl and I've got my lemons in it. I've got my bananas here. Our pineapple is sitting upside down because that helps it be yummy, and you don't put tomatoes in the fridge. So over on the other side of the counter, just things that we use all the time. Like I've got my tea kettle. I do have a tea addiction if you've seen any of my videos before. And our soda stream. That thing's way too bulky. It has a canister of CO2, so probably not good to be moving it around too much. So I'm just keep it there. And my husband's coffee maker. So a few things out on the counter, but for the most part, we just keep stuff put away because it looks much nicer, much cleaner. It makes my brain happy. And at the end of the day, if the sink is clean and I come down in the morning and it's nice and clean, nice and tidy, I'm a happy lady, and that is a great way to start the day. So please help feed the algorithm. He doesn't just like cookies, he likes comments. So please comment below, what is it that you would like to declutter from your kitchen today? This is my decluttering playlist. I hope you hit subscribe, and I'll see you here next time. Bye.